Good day everyone, I am Rielo M. Mauricio and I'm going to discuss about the Chapter 3 Cognitive Learning Theories in the Lesson 4 Problem Solving and Creativity, which focuses in creativity in problem solving and transfer of learning in problem solving and creativity. But before that, let me define first what is creativity. So according to Plucker and others 2004, creativity the interaction among aptitude, process, and the environment by which an individual or group produces a perceptible product that is both novel and useful as defined within a social context. The definition of creativity underscores the role of aptitude, process, product, novelty, and use. Aptitude represents a dynamic set of characteristics. Others call aptitude as creative attitude. So there are various theories explain how creativity is developed, according to Coesbelt and others 2010. Number 1. Developmental theory, which advocates that creativity develops over time from potential to achievement. It is mediated by interaction of person and environment. It emphasizes the influence of the place, family structures, the role play and support during transitions. Number 2. Cognitive theory of creativity states that ideational thought processes are foundational to a creative person's and accomplishment. Individuals who discern remote association and are good at divergent convergent thinking and conceptual combination and metacognitive processes are likely to be more creative. And the last one is the stage and componential process and creativity. Point out that creative expression proceeds through a series of stages or components. The process can have linear and recursive elements. It highlights the importance of preparation, incubation and insight, and verification and evaluation in creative thinking. So one of the first models of creativity was advanced by Guilford 1967. He considered creativity as a divergent thinking act. He claimed that creativity is the result of several processes: fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. So first is fluency, which defined as the ability to produce a great number of ideas or problem solution in a short period. In solving problems related to solid waste, a learner can give novel ideas on recycling a plastic water container more than the other learners, which demonstrates fluency. Flexibility is the ability to simultaneously propose a variety of approaches to a specific problem. In recycling a plastic water container, a learner can suggest many ways of using them. It can be used as food containers, wall decoration, and insect trap, which shows that the learner has flexibility of ideas. And the third one is originality. Refers to the ability to produce new, original ideas as well as products. If there is no other learner who give the same idea or product of another learner, that is original, as there is only one learner who could think of it. And the last one is elaboration. It's the ability to systemize and organize the details of an idea in one's head and carry it out. If the learner could pick one solution to solve a problem and give specific details to implement the same, he or she in manifesting elaboration. Now, let's proceed to the stages of the creative process. So as you can see in the diagram, the first stage is preparation, which focuses in gathering materials. The second stage is incubation, which focuses in subconscious working on the idea. The third stage is illumination, which focuses in eureka, aha, light bulb moment. And the last stage is verifications, which focuses in idea into form. So preparation involves becoming passionate about an idea, which motivates you to gather materials, read, observe, compare. The information gathered seeps in your subconsciousness, eventually remaining the momentarily. So incubation, the period where you unconsciously continues to work on the idea. but there is no active attempt to solve the problem. The mind just wanders until an idea takes form. So illumination, a sudden idea pops out in your mind. The subconscious thoughts find a connection with the consciousness, resulting in the aha and eureka moments. Once the idea is concretized, it needs to be verified. So the verification involves working with the idea into a form that can be tested, and once proven, it could be communicated to others. I also searched another creative problem-solving process. So the first process is clarify. The second process is ideate. The third process is develop. And the last process is implement. Originally developed by Alex Osborne and Sid Barnes, the creative problem-solving process has gone through a number of revisions over the last 50 or so years, and as a result, there are a number of variations of this model in existence. So, clarify. Before beginning to seek creative solution to a problem, it is important to clarify the exact nature of that problem. To do this, students should do the following three things. The first is identify the problem. The first step in bringing creativity to problem solving is to identify the problem. Challenge, opportunity, or goal are clearly define it. The second one is gather data. It is important to gather data first and research information and background to ensure a clear understanding. And the third one is formulate questions. Enhance awareness of the nature of the problem by creating questions that invite solutions. So, in the ideate, explore new ideas to answer the question raised. It's time to get creative here. The more ideas generated, the greater the chance of producing a novel and useful idea. At this stage in particular, students should be engaged in divergent thinking as described above. So develop. The focus here shifts from ideas to solutions. Once multiple ideas have been generated, convergent thinking can be used to narrow this down to the most suitable solution. The base idea should be closely analyzed in all its aspects and further ideas generated to make subsequent improvements. This is the stage to refine the initial idea and make it into a really workable solution. And the last is implement. Create a plan to implement the chosen solution. Students need to identify the required resources for the successful implementation of the solution. They need to plan for the actions that need to be taken, when they need to be taken, who needs to take them. So since we already done discussing about the creativity in problem solving, let me now discuss to you the transfer of learning in problem solving and creativity. Problem solving is made easier if the learner can retrieve declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and conditional knowledge from the long-term memory. If the problem solving task requires convergent answer, problem solving can be quite easy if the learner has mastered algorithms. Nevertheless, if the problem-solving task requires divergent thinking, if there have been experiences in the past that enable the learner to answer such tasks, solving them could be successfully done. The phenomenon that past experiences in solving problems are carried over or used in solving new problems is referred to as the transfer of learning. Transfer of learning are categorized into the following. So first is the near transfer and far transfer. When learners apply their knowledge and skills in situations and contexts that are very close to those on which the learning occurred, it is near transfer. When learners perform a skill in a context very much different from the context it was learned, it is transfer. It is far transfer by Johnson 1995. Learners find it easier to add 3 digits number after they have learned the lesson. So it is near transfer. However, define difficulty employing the same skill when the task is transferred into word problem solving. So it is FAR transfer. So the second one is positive and negative transfer. When learners can use their prior knowledge or experience in solving a new problem situation, it is positive transfer. When the previous thing learning or skills obstructs the acquisition of a new skill or the solving of a problem, it is negative transfer. Using a new model of the same brand of Android mobile phone is easy as the features are most likely the same, so it is positive transfer. However, when a new phone using iOS technology is brought, there will be difficulty in using it the first time, so it is negative transfer. So the third one is vertical transfer and lateral transfer. When learners use their learning at a lower level to perform a higher level at cognitive tasks, vertical transfer occurs. It is the goal of the spiral progression in the K-12 curriculum. When learners use the same skill to solve a related but different problem of the comparable level of difficulty after learning it, lateral transfer happens. For example, Ruben finds it easy to add 5-digit number as he has mastered adding numbers with or without carrying over in the previous grade. So this is vertical transfer. Likewise, Ruben relies on his knowledge of finding ratios in mathematics in acquiring the skills of finding the solution rate in a science laboratory task. So this is lateral transfer. And the last one is neutral or zero transfer. This happens when past learning or prior experience does not enhance or hinder the acquisition of a new skill or in the solution of a problem. So there are several theories explain how learning is transferred from one situation to another, according to Wolfo 2017. So the theory of identical elements by Thorndike maintains that the quality of transfer depends on identical elements that are common in both past and new situations. If the content, method, goal, and attitude in the two situations are similar, the transfer is facilitated. The theory of generalization, developed by Judd, states that skills learned are transferable to other situations. It argues that if the learners has fully understood the lesson and mastered the competency, there is a greater likelihood that such skill can be transferred to a similar situation. So the theory of configuration, which is the last, anchored on Gestalt psychology, emphasizes the important role of perception in the transfer of learning. It argues that what is learned in one situation can be shifted directly to another situation only when similarity in content, method, or attitude of the two situations is preserved by the learner. So that just was all for my video reporting. Thank you for listening.